Hi, I'm Dr. Vicki Peterson, and I'm the founder of Root Cause Medical Clinic, and I'm also the co-author of the book, The Gluten Effect. And I wanted to talk to you today about one of the most common questions I hear literally from all over the world, and that is someone who's wondering, is gluten really a problem for me? Do I have celiac disease? Do I have gluten sensitivity? Is it all in my head? Just this morning, a woman wrote to me and she said, you know, I definitely have a lot of symptoms. They feel better when I'm off gluten, but I made my doctor check me for celiac disease and he says I'm fine and that it's all in my head. But she sent me her test results, and so this is the most common thing that happens. When you're diagnosing celiac disease, there are 5 criteria that are used. You only need to have 4 out of the 5 positive in order to make a diagnosis. Now, she had one, which is that she has symptoms associated with celiac disease and or gluten sensitivity. It's not hard to have symptoms associated with either one of them because they affect potentially every organ in the human body and every system in the human body. So you can have a broad array of symptoms and likely something's going to fall into that category. Now, the second criteria is you feel better on a gluten-free diet, which is what she said. She eliminates gluten and she feels better. It is important when you're eliminating, you know how to eliminate. So some people say, well, I stopped eating bread and crackers and cookies and pasta. That was good, but do you know that soy sauce, as an example, has wheat in it? And do you know that meatloaf has wheat in it, or meatballs? You know, the things that have bread in them or wheat flour in them. Sauces are thickened with flour very often. Do you know about these hidden sources of wheat? If you don't and you're trying to avoid gluten, definitely visit our website, rootcausemedicalclinic.com. I have a free ebook on gluten you can get, and it lists a lot of these hidden sources, which is important to know about. So, so the criteria was, do you have symptoms? Do you feel better when you don't eat it? The third criteria has to do with the blood testing. So here she's being told by her doctor that her blood test is negative. He didn't do a comprehensive enough blood test. So there's definitely blogs I've done on the website that go into all the different aspects. So you can just search that on the website and see. I don't want to give a ton of scientific names that are going to put everybody to sleep, but you want a breadth and a comprehension of all the facets of how your immune system can react to gluten, and looking at all of them so you don't miss a positive diagnosis. Because what this doctor did was he just looked at one narrow aspect, and because it wasn't positive, he told her she was fine. She's obviously not fine. She has anxiety, she has depression. She's already proven that she does a lot better when she doesn't eat gluten. There's something going on. She's not making it up. So it's very important you get a comprehensive enough test. There's not a standard test for gluten sensitivity the way there is celiac, but there are indications that we use that show the immune system is having a negative reaction to the protein without it being celiac, which is an autoimmune disease. The treatment is the same, no gluten, but there are tests that look for both aspects of that. Okay, so then we have the fourth criteria, which is, do you have the genetics for the disease? So that's easy. That's just a swab on the inside of the mouth. It's like a big Q-tip. You send it off to the lab and they tell you if you have the genes. You can have 1 or 2 alleles, they're called, but chromosomes of the gene, and there's 2 different possibilities. So you can have 1, you can have 2. If you have 0, so you absolutely don't carry the genes at all for celiac disease, then you can't possibly have it. But that doesn't rule out gluten sensitivity, which is much more common. So, so that's the 4th, and then the 5th has to do with a biopsy. Actually, an invasive procedure where they go into the lining of your small intestine and take little snips of it out to see, do you have destruction of the lining of the small intestine? And that's what is the hallmark of celiac disease in the past. So while celiac is an autoimmune disease, meaning your immune system is attacking you, and the part of you it's attacking is the lining of the small intestine, that biopsy is no longer the gold standard for diagnosis, meaning you can have those other 4 positive, without having the fifth one, the biopsy positive, and still have celiac disease. Because sometimes people don't have enough destruction to find on the biopsy. They can have other manifestations. There's a manifestation that affects your nervous system more, just like the woman who reached out to me this morning who has depression and anxiety. She might have no digestive symptoms at all and have celiac disease. I just diagnosed a friend of mine who has no digestive symptoms at all. He has inflammation. So it's a very interesting disease, and gluten sensitivity, gluten reactions can be very complex and very comprehensive. So you need to know the questions to ask and don't give up. So when you're sitting there saying, wow, I really think this is here, then keep reaching out until you find somebody who can really interpret that. Because I've had people who have had all the 5 criteria. They had the symptoms, they felt better when they were off, they had a positive blood test, they had the genetics and a positive biopsy, and their doctor said, well, it could be, but probably not. It's like, based on what? So you wouldn't believe the stories I hear and the blood tests that I see, and I don't know whether doctors just don't feel comfortable telling people to never eat gluten again. I mean, obviously, I'm used to it because I've been doing it for 20 years. I know it's a big deal, but it can save somebody's life. It can completely change their health status. So this is not something to be shy about when it's there. So the reason I wanted to reach out today is because I'm asked this so often, and I just want you to know there is a way to find out. It doesn't have to be a big mystery, and it's worth finding out because it can affect your health in so many serious ways. So whether you live locally to us or not, we are a destination clinic, so I'm happy to offer you a free phone consultation where we can talk. I can get your history, I can see the lab tests that have been done, if any, and we can really figure it out. So that's what I want to offer you. If this is something that you think someone in your family or friends needs to know about, please share it with them. Because here at Root Cause Medical Clinic, we help the world's busiest people regain, retain, and reclaim their health, their energy, and their resilience. And I would love to help you. So if you feel your health could be better than it is, you're wondering if gluten is at the root of it, please reach out. Our phone number is 408-733-0400. I'll see you soon.